Good afternoon. It's Monday. It's the 12th of January. I'm just going to adjust my lighting a little bit. I don't know if that's better, is it? Don't need to be too bright. It's the 12th of January. It's Monday's FA Cup draw day. And of course, we're in the FA Cup draw, which is good news for all of us. I've come on a little bit early just to make sure everything's okay. We're going to check everyone gets on and we can get a few comments down. If um, if the camera's wrong, the lighting's a bit wrong, tell me and I can put it right. Not that it matters if you see me or not. I mean, I could just do this really with no camera, couldn't I? Used to do it like that ages ago, me and Pete, because Pete, it's not as pretty as me. So if Pete was on, he used to turn the camera off. Don't tell him that. Have we got any people viewing yet? It doesn't look like it. Come and say hello. Let me see you having a look. Post is just probably going on to the group now. So hopefully we're going to see a few comments any second. No one on yet. Unusual. Let's expand the comments. All right, still no people. Oh, we've got 5 viewers. That's good. Come and say hello. Be the first one to come and say hello to me. Make my day. Let's get it going. Let's get the rabbiting going. Uh, it's a nice one. I mean, we do the Zoom ones as well, which are always good. But I do like these. They're sort of more like instant. They're just different, which is good. Nothing wrong with different, is there really? Um, we had 5 people on a minute ago. We've got 3 now. So it seems like everyone's deserting the sinking ship at the minute. Please come and just make a comment so that I know you're there and I can say hello to you and then I can leave it as it is. I haven't got to keep messing around with it because there's 3 different ways of seeing comments in the group like this. And it's a bit annoying sometimes. Emily Mould is on. How you doing, Em? Hope you're all right, love. Thank you for being the first one to comment today. We've been on for 2 minutes and 12 seconds, and it's nice to have you here. Paul James is here. Afternoon, Steve. The lighting is fine. Good quality picture. Thank you, mate. This is a new camera that I had about, I don't know, a couple of months ago. But the lighting, I've got like a couple of lighting options. I never like it to be too light because, you know what I mean? If people see me in too much detail, it'll upset them, particularly if they've just eaten or just about to eat. So, we've got a lot to talk about, haven't we? Still, like on my mind today is like the death of Oppie yesterday. You just can't get it out of your head, can you? The thought of it is just horrible. Um, and it's sort of that, I don't know, like it's almost with Oppie, it's like losing a really, like a member of the family, isn't it, for Blues? He was, of course, one of the Blues family, but Oppie used to home and away travel with just the normal supporters. He was just one of the lads, and what a lovely lad. And I was fortunate enough to know the family. I went to school with them. Uh, his older brother Barry, who actually also signed for the Villa, as I probably said yesterday, um, and Rob and Sandra, his older sister. I was speaking to Steve, his younger brother, yesterday. What a lovely lad, Thanked us for mentioning him in our podcast yesterday. But you can't do anything at the moment, can you? Without mentioning Hoppy, it just overshadows everything. More important than anything else at the moment. How you doing, Graham? It's nice to see you, mate. Um, Emily's asking who we're going to get drawn with. Well, okay, quick diversion of subject matter, but it's a good idea to talk about this. Personally, you know what? It's like I would love to have the Villa at St Andrews, but it's just a little bit. They are looking good at the moment, aren't they? You've got to put your hands up. Well, when they're doing well, fair enough. So, but you know what? We'd give them a game. I know we would. I know what we're like. We're up for the battle. We are. Paul James is saying so sad. Exactly. He's one of us. He's one of the lads. Uh, he did live the boyhood dream, mate. That's exactly what he did. He lived the dream that we would all want, and absolutely brilliant and a really good footballer as well. People forget, he played for Man City and West Brom and Blues in the top division. He was a little terrier. He had a heart as big as a lion. Uh, Pete Allen did a piece in our Facebook page today about him slaying Brian Kilcline when we played Notts County, and he did. He did. Emily saying life is too short and unpredictable. It is, love, isn't it? It's just horrible. It's not good. Colin Nichols is riding his bike. Very good. Um, so tonight o'clock, tonight o'clock. I think tonight at 6. Is it 6 o'clock? Stephen Gerrard's drawing the balls. Em's saying she wouldn't want Villa right now. I know what you mean, I do, but we don't get to play them very often, and it'd be a big one, wouldn't it? And you know, it would be a free hit in a way because it was a bit like us playing Cambridge at the weekend, wasn't it? It was a free hit for them. If they get beat, everyone expects them to get beat, and if they win, it's 100%. Um, There's been a lot of, I mean, I don't know if you said, I mean, I was talking to Emily about this yesterday. Emily's one of our moderators, so us moderators have a little bit of a, talk behind the scenes, if you want. And we were talking about like some of the vitriolic comments made about our players on Saturday after we beat Cambridge. I mean, I just do not know um, what it's all about. I really don't. But everything you're right, people seem to, they're not happy with it, are they? Graham Parrish, I've said hello to. Gray, how you doing? Paz, Stephen, Paz, Stephen, Graham Parrish, and Graham Parrish. Paz is saying hello to Graham. Paz, what a hero, mate. Paz pulled some people from the wreckage of a burning van on his way back from the game on Saturday. I mean, honestly, Paz, fucking well done, son. We need a few more people like you around. Val Collins, hi Steve, watching uh, but a cafe over there, a cafe on the seafront. So keep losing connection. All right, love. It's probably a good thing if you're losing connection with me, isn't it? Really, sometimes. One thing that we don't seem to get anymore is lost connection since I got my new laptop. So that's a very big positive. Emily's saying it would be a big one, but my stomach would be turning inside the whole game. I know, Emily. But I know it's you now, Paz. You put your shit on the Villa thing on there. Nice one, son. Emily, I know exactly what you mean. It would be horrible, wouldn't it? I mean, if we lost, it would be awful. But we've been through that many times before. It doesn't bloody matter, does it? I mean, honestly, it bothers them more than it bothers us. I mean, we're bigger than that. But yeah, going back to this, I don't know what's wrong with people with the comments and making. Well, I'll tell you something now, right? And Emily can back me up on this. We've decided that I wrote to the club yesterday asking them what are they going to do about this social media business because it really isn't good. And I think comes a time when the club sometimes has got to take has got to take responsibility for some of its own platforms. So the club's official Facebook page um, is absolutely vile. I mean, go and look at it. Look at some of the comments on it. I've had this conversation with the club before um, with Jonathan Clark, and I asked, I offered Jonathan our moderators to help them to moderate it a bit, but he said like it's something they can't do because our people aren't employed by them or something, some kind of um, I don't know, internal thing where they can't get external people working for them or helping them or something, God knows. And they couldn't do anything about it. And I understand it. I mean, listen, we got like, I think we have a lot of people, right? We have like 2 million visitors a month, and we handle that with probably 14 of us. Uh, Now, Blues have got 500,000 members, so I wouldn't like to see where their traffic is. Must be absolutely horrendous. But when people make disgusting comments about your players and about your manager and about your scouting team and every single person more or less gets this. Why it's dead easy when you see a comment, just go on for an hour, someone, and just delete those people, just ban them. I know it isn't that hard, and I was making the point yesterday about players. Everyone we got to talk about individuals, but there was a young lady at Sheffield United who committed suicide, Maddie. There was, we've seen it in the past with Justin Fashanu, I think it was. But bigger than that is the issues that it causes to players' families. It's really, really horrible. And we know the players and we know the players' families, and they tell us firsthand. Paul Evans is saying he'd like United. Hang on, Paul. Didn't United get beat? I think they did, mate. Big draw at St Andrews. Loved Newcastle last season. Yeah, I wouldn't want them again now, though. I mean, we'd probably beat them. We probably would. I mean, we weren't far off last season, but I'm not sure. A Premier League at St Andrews team at St Andrews would be good, or someone. We just need to get through, don't we? Dave Pegg saying good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dave. How you doing, son? It was nice to see you yesterday. Thank you for joining us. Dean Williams, a couple of new signings coming in. Well, we don't know that, Dean. I mean, you see all the stuff now that's floating around. It's all clickbait stuff, mate. You see the stuff on Football Focus, Blues Focus, and Blues Focus put every single rumour in there. So, we don't put rumours in. If I know personally from a good source that something happening, we'll put it in. Otherwise, we ain't going to be dealing with it because it's not. It's literally just clickbait, most of it. And Fabrizio Romano's just put one in about another player. Listen, if all of those are true, we sign in about 6 players in the next 24 hours. So let's see what happens. I might be wrong. Gary Sheriff, if he's a new player, we haven't got a new player, Gary. If you're talking about Wagner, yeah, he's extremely good. He's looked really sharp on the first couple of games. He's strong. He understands the game. He reads it well. Doesn't mind taking players on. He just looks like a real handful. He's a bit of a brute. I was, when someone said we're signing from someone from the MSL and he's German, I'm thinking, Jesus, what's that going to be like? But honestly, he looks really good. Paul James, the only reason I say ours, sounds a good choice even about these other forums. Well, you're the same as me, Paul. I only go into SHL as well, SHA as well. I've been there probably 12 years now, probably longer, and I've used that forum. I know a few other lads that use it as well. Don't get on there as much as I'd like to probably now because it's such a big job to handle what we do. But SHA is really good, generally speaking. Emily Mould, it is difficult to moderate abuse on such high traffic pages like Blues page, but I do feel like the club has a responsibility to protect their players as much as social media has a responsibility to stop online abuse. It does, and I wasn't, by us asking the questions to the club, we're not mischief making, but we do think that even if you just say, just put some posts in that group saying, I don't know, like continual abusive comments from particular people, we'll see them removed or something like that, see the person removed, isn't right, I mean, so, and this is sort of the thing that I'm thinking about is there was a case where, like, we have an official selling page. We had our old selling page, which is no longer anything to do with us. So if you want to risk buying or selling stuff on there, that's up to you. The BCFC, the project selling page, the old one, has got nothing to do with us anymore. We have our brand new one, the official BCFC selling page, and but it's interesting because I think it was on the old one where someone put tickets for sale up there and sold them to someone. And the club actually went into the group, looked at the guy's name, found out he was a silver, and found out who they sold the ticket to, and it was someone that hadn't got any positioning at all in terms of ticket purchase for away games. And what they did was they emailed him, they showed him like what the post he'd put up, the fact that he'd sold the ticket, and they downgraded him from a silver plus to a silver. So but the point I'm making is they can do that. They can go on to our group and see people selling tickets, can they not go onto their own group and see people abusing fellow supporters, or even, well, say even worse, exactly the same, players or staff members? You've got a job to do here, Blues. You really have. You've got to do something. It isn't right if you don't. Post Parish, R.I.P. Hoppy. Hoppy, well, I used to hang around up Mapleton Road, where Hoppy used to live on the corner of Mapleton Road. Big family, all Blues fans. And when he was growing up, like when we all were all kids together, just great, just normal people. And you like to see that. And it's so sad what happened to him, because he's a very unassuming guy, I mean, listen, we all know what Hoppy was like. He was a bit of a terrier and that, but he's just like an unassuming. And look, it's so nice to see all those photos yesterday on Facebook. Just shows you how accessible he is. Every man and his dog's got a photo of themselves with Hoppy, haven't they? And it's lovely to see. And we're going to miss him, aren't we? We really are. Um, the lad we allegedly signed in, he's gone. I'm not sure his name. Well, there's actually, Mike, there's 4 players that are allegedly signing. There's the one from Fabrizio Romano. There's this one. There's another one from, it's called Clickbait 24 or some other odd, an Italian player. So I'll just sit back and wait. Um, Steve Daniels is saying, "Hi, how you doing, Steve? You all right, mate? Thank you for having me back a few minutes ago on that post where Geezer was like having a go at me for saying that. I'll tell you what it is in a minute, but I've just read these other ones. Paul James, John Solis, and Mana, 2 players quite heavily mentioned, nothing confirmed. Mate, I can mention anyone. It don't mean anything. I can mention someone, put a link into my site. Are you going to follow it to find out what it is? That's what it's all about, getting clicks. Um, Paul Evans, to be honest, I've been disappointed with Bright Samuel since his first couple of games. Injured, not looking fit enough, and now he appears to be playing very good for Nigeria. Best comeback fit. Well, I don't really know what you're saying there, Paul. I mean, if he's playing well for Nigeria, then that's brilliant. I'm sure he doesn't think, well, I'm going to go play really well for Nigeria, but when I play for Blues, I'll play shit. It's the man's career. He wants to play well, and he did look really good. I think he was sort of played out of. I think he's sort of played out of position a little bit, because he was originally a right back. He was turned into a right-sided midfielder. I think that's probably where he likes to play. Gary Sheriff is saying, sorry, he's just looked back. He's supposed to be signing from, he's with Malby in Sweden. Yeah, we do have a history of signing Swedish players. Some of them good, some of them not so good. Emily's saying, if they're moderating the sale of tickets, like on our side, or not our side, the old selling side, uh, they can moderate abuse. Absolutely. And if not, then a simple message every now and again reminding people to be kind, and that abuse and what tolerated. That really is the essence of it. You can't expect them to moderate totally and perfectly a site with 500,000 members. We know what it's like, and our site is 1/20th the size of that, right? Um, so we know how hard it is, but it's surprising how, when you get rid of some of the big mouths, it makes it a lot better. I mean, I could name you now 20 people that we've banned from our side that go around other sites putting photos of me in Nazi uniforms on and blah blah blah, like, "Oh, please don't," you know. Um, and it's like, that's what they're like. But I know those people, and when I see them, putting the photos of me in Nazi uniform on. Now, don't get me wrong, I like a bit of Hugo Boss as much as anyone else, but not the Hugo Boss stuff when they design the Nazi uniforms. I don't want that. But when they pour all that on, then it just makes me absolutely even more certain we made the right choice by getting rid of them, because look, you're just proving me right every time you do something like that, you knobs. Um, Art Watson, Arsenal at home would be a great, wouldn't it, mate? And I've got a mate actually who's a big gooner, and he had a stroke about 3 months ago. Uh, really fit lad as well, and oddly enough, I seen him this morning for the first time in ages, and he's looking really good. He's getting better. Um, but Arsenal at St Andrews would be a great draw, but Arsenal are a bit like Man City, aren't they? You're not going to beat them, you know, or you would be. It would be very hard to beat them. Um, Paz is saying any home draw. Paz, it's saved you having to drive away, mate, and perform your heroics on the roads and motorways of the country. It saved you a few bob in petrol. It saved you loads of changing wheels on the side of the motorway. It would mean that the missus can probably make your dinner and stuff rather than having to travel up and down. Mind you, you're not close. Well, you are. I mean, you're in Ashby, but you know, it's still like an away game in a way, isn't it? It wouldn't be as much an away game as it is for me. Although, like when I seen you in Portugal, that was a closer one for me than it was for you. So it's not drunk for 3 days, but you know what? It don't matter, does it really? It don't happen that often. The team will be interesting as well. I think that team's going to be interesting. I was quite, you know, I'm sick of having this conversation about Beadle. I don't know what people just got it in for James Beadle, but I did a little write up this morning, and people have got every right to make comments on it if they want. No one has, but I think like Beadle for the first goal. I mean, I don't know what Neumann was doing. He absolutely lost where he was. He did. I mean, it all went downhill when Robinson went off. To be perfectly honest. Um, and Neumann just lost his, didn't know where he was, I don't think. And that ball came back to Kai, who hit it, and it was through a group of players, you know. I mean, Beadle didn't see that until the last minute, and even if he did, every goal that goes in has to go past the goalkeeper, you know. If a goalkeeper, you know, but the annoying thing about that was hardly anyone mentioned Neumann's part in it, but everyone was on Beadle like a pack of dogs, and it's horrible, that is. I really hate that, you know, and I don't want anyone to do the same to Neumann either, but be fair, you know, be objective and be honest about your views. If you don't understand goalkeeping or you don't know what you're talking about, then don't say anything because people have their own eyes, they can see what happens. And the second goal, Pate gives away a free kick. The ball comes over. Their lad got a funny name. They've all got fairly funny names. He won the header unchallenged, and the ball dropped to Kai, who completely unmarked, about 8 yards out, just had Beadle in front of him, and it's a really hard right-footed shot, which no keeper's going to stop, right? And people are going to go, oh, you know, why can't you say what's he supposed to do there? He could have got down faster. You can have your opinion on Beadle and Allsop and whatever, you know, but don't make stuff up. I mean, you know, if you prefer Allsop, then fair enough. Uh, Steve Daniels, absolute cauldron at St Andrews. The pressure wouldn't be on us. They would be shitting it. I know, mate. And to be honest, you know, the one I always think of is that, you know, that famous Tuesday night one when we came back into the division, into the Premier League, the Enkelman night. You know, I mean, it was horrible when you know, if you're a Villa fan, what a horrible night that would have been for them, you know, because it was literally on fire, wasn't it, St Andrews? Graham Price is saying home draw, another sellout equals another million in the kitty, including prize money every round of the cup. Yeah, it would be nice to have a good run, Graham. And you know, once you get past the fourth round, then like you know, you're in the last 16, aren't you? I think. Yeah. No, fifth round, 16. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're in the fourth round. Once you get past the fourth round, it's the fifth round. You're in the last 16 of the cup. Last 16. You know, I mean, I don't think we're going to win the cup, right? But wouldn't it be lovely to have a good cup run? You know, just get to the quarterfinals. Imagine if we get to the last eight, then then anything can happen, can't it? To be honest. And listen, we're Blues. We know we're not. We know, you know, we know we're small eats. We don't care. We love it. We love being Blues. We love being ragged arse Brummies. You know, not your Tamworth faction. By the way, I had a few people saying, please don't say that about Tamworth because we're Blues fans and we live in Tamworth. We know some of you are undercover in Tamworth. Don't worry, won't tell no one. But You know what I mean when I say that? I mean, Villa don't have a single song that includes Birmingham. I mean, they never go out there and say, we are Brummies, yes we are, you are wankers, or nothing like that. They haven't got a song like that because they don't call themselves Brummies. Because they call themselves Brummies, they know everyone identifies with us as Brummies, not them. So, you know, that's the reason they don't do that. And I always ask them that question. Why don't you have any songs with Birmingham in it? Well, you know, because it sounds too much like Birmingham City. But a home draw would be good. Um, I don't think we want another away one, do we? And away games at smaller teams is always a bit of a bit of a dodgy one. I mean, Saturday it was a bit scary. 3-0 up. I mean, the first goal from Wagner, uh, just a touch fortunate, but you know that player is really good. I mean, he got into the good position, he hit it left-footed. He's got a really sweet left foot on him. He took a slight deflection past the keeper, 1-0. And to be honest, we never looked like we were in trouble. Honestly, we didn't. They had periods when they had the ball, but they didn't do much with it. I think we looked strong. Pike started well. I think it's hard to sort of single out players in this game because it was such a weird game. And the other thing was, it was pretty foggy, wasn't it? Which wasn't good. It just looked like an uninviting place. And the other annoying thing was, there were so many empty seats, and we could have sold another 1,000, 2,000 tickets for that. Uh, and there were so many empty seats there. These clubs cut the nose off to spite the face, you know, they really do. Um, and of course, like the big moment in the game came when I forget their centre half's name, but when and they took him off in the end because Kyogo was running him into the ground. When Kyogo just towed it past, just running, pressed him and just took the ball off him, and he was away on one. I was like, oh no, please, 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 Kyogo. And I looked, and I could see he hadn't done his roots or nothing. I was thinking, oh. And then, of course, what a lovely finish, wasn't it? He didn't look like he was. He looked like a player that's confident, not someone that's not confident. And he hit that right-footed shot over the keeper's body, and off he went into the corner. He's cute, and you know what I mean? Straight away, the fans were going mad. If that had been St Andrews, I think we would have been on the pitch. I honestly do. Um, Paul James is saying we are Witten. Yes, we are. That could work for them. Yeah, it could. You know, it could. They can have Witten. We don't want Witten. It's a bit of a dump in it. Anyone that lives in Witten, by the way, I'm sorry. You know, I mean, listen, Smallheath, they know fabulous areas, but I don't mind anyone calling us Smallheath. I don't mind at all. But going back to that game, you know, at 2-0 at half time, it looked done and dusted, didn't it? And then when we sat a little bit deeper at the start of the second half, and then, you know, 80 minutes comes and there's Ducks. Now, I put in my write up this morning that it was a cross-come shot by, uh, by Doyle that the Ducks sort of helped into the net. And so there's always someone in there. Someone comes and goes, cross come shot. It was a pass. It was a pass. Just clearly a pass. And then, you know, Ducks took it on and hit it. I'm just telling you what I've seen. And it was funny because after I read that comment and I was on Facebook because obviously I read it in our group. And almost straight away, a reel come up on the Blues TV and it was the goal. So I thought, oh, what's this? And you couldn't see that well, but it did look like Ducks actually sort of made more than I'd seen of it. The ball went through, but then looking from the angle, like with Ducks there, you know, and Doyle there, I looked, and then the commentator said, the ball from Doyle, which was helped in by Ducks, and that's exactly what it looked like. I don't think the ball changed trajectory as it was going. Ducks sort of swung at it, and he did connect with it definitely, and it probably wouldn't have gone in if he hadn't have. But I don't know. But the ball then picked up a little bit more speed, and it went into the net. It wasn't. He didn't take the back out of the net, but it looked to me like it was sort of a cross-come shot, and Ducks helped it in. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a goal, brilliant. But someone has to come on. And quick, listen, if you want to write your own write-ups, write them up yourself and put it into the group. You know, you don't have to argue with everything everyone says. If you don't agree with it, fair enough. No problem. No problemo, as we say in Spain. I don't say that, but some people do. Um, Dave Pegg, the duck helped you on its way from where I was watching. Yeah, same with me. That's what it was. But nothing wrong with it. It was there, you know. And I got to say, I've been fairly critical of Ducks and Neumann. And Ducks made, well, this statement, I think, was made to German press, but it was actually put in the Evening Mail as well. It wasn't a statement, it was an interview. And he was speaking to German press originally. And what he said was, the game in the UK is a lot different to the way I thought it was. It's faster, it's more physical, and they play a lot of football. And honestly, yeah, but Paul James is just repeating what I'm saying now. And honestly, it's what I said when they first come. You know, I'm not like blowing my own trumpet on this. It's just what I see, and I thought for both Neumann and Ducks, both of them looked to be out of the depths. It looked too physical for them. There were too many games. They couldn't cope with the number of games. And I think Dux has recognised this, and it's good that he could see, you know, because there's a very good footballer in there. And even though I don't think he played that well on Saturday, I still had to make him my man of the match because he was playing in the 10. He's better in the 10. And if we're going to keep, I mean, are we going to keep Kyogo up top? If we do, then we've got to, you know, we have to sacrifice Stansfield or Dux in that position. And I think this weekend what we're going to see is um, Stansfield on the left. If he comes back, I think he will. Stansfield on the left, Dux in the 10, Roberts on the right, and then you know, take your pick. Obviously behind them, it's not going to be much difference. I think the back four is definitely going to be Iwata, Clara, Robinson, and Wagner, and then the two defensive mids are going to be Doyle and Pike, and then in front of them the three I've just said. Well, I didn't say three. I said no. Yeah, the three I've just said, which will be Stansfield left, Docks in the 10, Roberts in the right, and Kyogo up top. And I mean that sounds like a strong team to me. It really does. I think we did adapt a little bit on Saturday. I didn't like it, to be honest, the way it went. Robinson went off, and he looked like he took a bit of a knock. I hope he's going to be fit for Saturday. It sort of disrupted things. I think he took Robinson off and he took Kyogo off at the same time. I think that was around 75 minutes or something, and and someone else as well, I think. But anyway, it sort of changed the way we looked. We and the natural thing to do was then we was 3-0 up, and I think he was quite happy to do it. Chris Davis was to sit back and just see the game out. We're 3-0 up. We're playing against a good first division, second division team, but you know, with 3 goals ahead, we got 10 minutes left. He brought on the swap happened. Robinson went off injured. Neumann come on. They attacked, and and Neumann just, you know, on that near post with Kai, he just lost where he was. I don't know what happened to him. He challenged first, the ball went past him, and then he went to ground with a challenge. And then when he got up, he didn't know where he was, and it was too late, you know. And the ball was hit, and there was a lot of bodies in that box, and the ball went in the net. And when it's 3-1, then and you decided that you're gonna you know sit behind and defend a little bit, like more or less sort of, you hate to say that you played in a low block for the last 10 minutes against a second division team, but we did, and we sat deep, and you know, I don't know. Wilster was completely switched off at 80 minutes. Neumann cost the second goal. Yeah, you did. I don't. I don't want to say like. I don't want to slate him because I don't think Neumann's quite what he was made out to be when he was coming. Bearing in mind the club bought him 6 months before he came, so it'd be like us buying a player now that's going to start next season. So you're going to think straight away, they put money down on this guy. He's got to be really, really good. And we were all expecting, you know, an absolutely wonderful centre half. Well, there's nothing wrong with him, but it's not probably what I was expecting him to be. but a little bit like Duck said, they might take a bit of time to settle in. So let's give him some time. But we can't, at the moment he's not worth his place. Robinson's got that left side, and you would have Clara over Neumann on the right, wouldn't you? But he's a good centre half. Emily's saying it was like a different team after the subs. I know. What a shame. That's exactly how I feel. That is, what a shame. I feel it here that we conceded those two goals. When I seen Robinson go off straight away, though, I thought it's going to be difficult now because Clara's got to go on the left. But it seems like Neumann went on the left, and Neumann can't play on the left. We've seen that before. I remember that absolutely disastrous game when Samsted played left back, Cashin left side centre half alongside Neumann against Port Vale, and we looked absolutely, oh Jesus, that was bad, wasn't it? That night, but Paul James Kumis is making a case for himself. Good to see with Dimmy. I know Paul, he is making a case for himself. He's no dimmy. He's a young lad and he works really, really hard, Kumas, and he's not scared to take players on. He doesn't get past people that easily, but he has a go and he's only a kid. And I like him. And we got Scott Wright back as well. Scott Wright, we got not right back. We got Scott Wright back. Okay, so he's around. Um, Of course, Roberts can play on the left. He's a left-footed player. He can play wide left. But do we, I think we'll keep Kumas at the club. I don't know. He may go back. But he's been very helpful the last few weeks with Dimmy out. But I did think to myself, watching that game on Saturday, if Dimmy had been playing that game, we would have 4 or 5 nil. Down the left, we looked good at times with Kumas and Wagner, but sometimes that he hasn't got that Velcro foot that Dimmy's got to go past players. And listen, Dimmy's an absolute quality Premier League footballer, so let's not be harsh on Kumas. He works very, very hard, that young lad, and I like him. A lot of people, again, he's another one that's come in for a bit of a dogging off the so-called supporters. I don't like it, and he's only a lad. So yeah, definitely, I would think he's a nothing wrong to keep him. Erin Cashin's gone back, so there's one loan that we can call in. I was also a little bit surprised when Kenya came on and went up top. I was like, I don't know where he was supposed to be playing, to be honest, when he came on. Um, he just was like a straight swap for Kyogo, wasn't he? And I don't know, he just looked a bit lost. I'm just going to double check that to see when he came on because um, I don't like to have all loads of facts and figures there when I'm sorry. I just reading someone's there sent me a weird message. Right, let me just have a little look. Nothing abusive though, so we're all right. It's just interesting to see when. I just want to see when Kyogo went off because is my memory serving me incorrectly? So 81, 81 minutes, I think. Oh God, look at me. Jesus, I haven't got my lenses in. Yeah, he went off on 75. Yeah, which is what I thought he went off on, and he was taken and he was swapped and he was swapped with Fujimoto. So that's Kanya. So Kanya comes on and he just doesn't make any impression at all. He just doesn't seem to have any direction, and I just don't think this lad has got any future at the club. I don't. Obviously, Chris Davis doesn't rate him because he's hardly had a look in since he came here. He played in that awful Port Vale game as well. He was sort of, he looked like he was playing a number 8 in that game, but then again he kept drifting around. And I think that added to all the confusion. Robinson going off, Fujimoto going on, Kanya coming on, you know, all that stuff. Kanya coming on, and Kyogo going off. It changed the complex of the game for me, and it happens quite a lot with Blues. When we make 2 or 3 changes on the hour, you lose the impetus, and you lose the awareness of the players around you that you know that you've been playing with for the last hour and a half. So it does affect us, I think, and we do tend to sit deeper then, and we did sit deep, and you can understand it's at 3-0, and we did have a big enough lead in the end, but it could have gone very horribly wrong, couldn't it? Thank God it didn't. And in terms of you know, seeing what happens now, uh, when if Stansfield's back, great, you know, so we can play Ducks and Kyogo and Stansfield in the same team. Excuse me, in the same team, but um, what happens when Dimmy comes back? Uh, Also, in the back four, what happens when uh, Ethan Laird is fit? When Buchanan comes back, because Buchanan can play left-sided centre half as well. We've got a real like richness of players we have. We've got a really deep squad, and it's a good job we have, because look what could have happened to us now. You know, if we hadn't got those players to come on. At the weekend, we had Billy Borrow on the bench, under 21 centre half, captain, really nice centre half. We had Maswi there, who's a really good young left back. And also we had Isishi, who's a left-sided a left winger, so left-sided attacker. So you could think, with him putting them on the bench, he's got the confidence in them to perhaps not spend a load of money in this window and just wait for 3 or 4 weeks, and we're going to start getting people back. And then we've got the likes of Maswi and Burrell and Isishi who can fill the gaps for us in between time. That's my thinking. I might be wrong. Dave Pegg, his trouble is who would have Kenya. It's the same though, Dave, with a lot of the players. It's like easy people say, like, you know, what if I was, you know, what we should do now is let Kyogo go. Let him go where? Let Kenya go. Let him go where, like Dave says. You know, it's all right saying let him go. Well, you know, they're not sitting there saying, "Can I leave and give you my contract back?" We'll go, "Yeah, please, Kenya, give us your contract back. Thanks for having to go anyway, and all the best." He's sitting on a 3-year contract, just like Kyogo, just like Ducks, just like I think Neumann might even have 4 years. Um, these guys have all got contracts, and you cannot just tell a player he's not playing anymore. You can't do it. You can pay his contract up if you want, and he's gone. That's fair enough. But it's just like us having a player under contract who's playing really, really well, and then he says after 6 months, "Oh, by the way, I'm playing really well. I'd like to go. Could you give me? Can you just tear my contract up?" That ain't gonna happen. Paul James, Abdul Imani, who is rumoured target, is a big physical number 10. Does sound good and what we need, mate. You know, I could now tell you a lot of physical number 10s, and they could all be what we need as well. But I just haven't made up anything about them yet. That sounds a bit harsh because I might be wrong, and a lot of people are talking about him. But people say, well, you know, like this rumour, a lot of people are talking about it. That's because one person says it, then two, then three, then they tell someone else, and they tell someone else. Then Fabrizio Romano sees it and he puts it in it. I don't think him particularly, but you know, some of the clickbaits then see it and add it on and pass it on, and then everyone's, oh, you know, this guy's coming from Sweden. It may well be, but you know, don't. And the thing is, he's a number 10. When you say he's a number 10, Paul, do you mean he's like, you know, he's a ball player, you know, like he's a number 10. He can pick the pass. He's not there to score goals. Um, and of course, you know, our lineup as well, we can change it. It's like we said before, if we do get a little bit stuck and we're short of people, you know, we can play a three at the back because we've got three good centre halves. We've got Kanya who can Kanya. We've got Neumann who can play on the right. We've got Clara who can play in the middle, and we've got Robinson who can play on the left. And then we've probably got two of the best wing backs in the country if you're playing a back five when they're both fit. Obviously, we've got Wagner now who is fit, and then you've got Ethan Laird on the right. But even without Laird, um, Iwata is so good at getting forward and he's so strong. You know, that could be a way of just dealing with it for the time being. We'd be a bit more defensive, but we've shut up shop a bit easier. We can't attack quite so well. I don't like playing five at the back. To me, it's a defensive setup, and I know Chris Davis isn't keen on it, but sometimes you have to cut your cloth according to what you have, and it may be safer for us to look at that lineup for a bit until we get a few injuries back, depending what we sign in this window. If we sign, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a centre forward. I don't know about anyone else. I don't. It's like Paul saying there about us signing a number 10. I mean, if he's a number 10, do we need a number 10? You know, and I know everyone's going to be crying out for a number 10, but we've got plenty of number 10s in the team. And when you see Dux as number 10 on Saturday, and he played quite well and he scored a goal, you know, we've seen him the week before score two against Coventry, you know, from a number 10. So, sorry, from a striker. But we got Stansfield who can play the 10 and he's good at it. We got Dimmy who can play the 10. And of course, as Dave Pegg says, we got Mitrovic. Surely Mitrovic is coming in this window. Oh, what's happened to Mitrovic when you want him? All joking apart, you know, we have got a very, very skilled squad. You know, all the way from, you know, we have two good goalkeepers. Beadle at the moment is, you know, he hasn't done anything wrong. He's done nothing to get dropped. And if he did, you know, I mean, if he played badly enough to get dropped, I'm pretty sure Chris Davis would drop him. You know, and if you go, well, he's on loan from Brighton, so Brighton wouldn't like it. Well, he didn't mind not playing here in Cashing, did he? Because he didn't think he was good enough. He didn't play him, so he was from Brighton as well. And then you've got, you know, we've got a lot of fullbacks. We've got a lot of really good fullbacks. We could probably really, if was being choosy, do with one more centre half, a really good one, you know, rather than having to rely on someone like Buchanan or of course Cochran can play left-sided centre half as well. Um, Midfield, we've got a lot of good midfielders, haven't we? We've got Scott Wright back now. We've got Scott Wright back now. We've got, of course, Patrick Roberts, the man with the, the man with the Velcro boots. Um, Dimmy, uh, Anderson, who hasn't been around lately. I don't know what's happened to him. Perhaps things aren't right there. I don't know. Um, Williamson, who, sorry, but I think the time's up now. He just doesn't look that good, does he? Um, you know, he just doesn't. Uh, I like him. I was watching a couple of reels on the Blues yesterday. He scored a really lovely goal last season. I can't remember who it was against. Side-footed into the net from about 10 yards. I remember scoring at Wickham as well. You know, a couple of goals at Wickham. I think he scored, but it's just not the same in this division. He can't. He's not strong enough to command it. And I loved Thor when he come, but unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to happen for him. So probably we could do with someone who's. You know, another. It seems like Leonard's going. So I would say someone's going to come into that midfield somewhere, but not necessarily a number 10. Um, Paul saying, yeah, he thinks he's a more playmaker than forward. It's good if you're a number 10 and you're physical because you can hold off challenges. Um, the problem is when you look around the championship, some really nice players, aren't there? You know, particularly like number 10s. But we're really fortunate to have Doyle. I mean, Doyle has stamped his authority on our game now. He looks like he's control. He controls the games from the middle. Pake looked really good at times on Saturday. The two of them together complement each other. They're two very good footballers. Probably just lack a little bit of grit in there, but you know, if you're very good, and we are really good at pass and move. sometimes some of the one-touch passing football that we make in our own half, near our own area, number one gives me a heart attack. But number two, when it comes off, I'm like, whoa, are we good at that, you know? And that's just practice and practice and practice, and we are good at it. Will saying apparently you are close to signing John Solis from Girona. That's Fabrizio Romano's post. That is Bill. Uh, you know, I would take it with a pinch of salt. I don't even know who that guy is, and I have no idea. Fabrizio Romano is an Italian journalist, and you know, he comes up with some good stuff. But I also see loads of stuff that Romano posts that is just shite. You know, Patrick Absalom's here talking of shite. How you doing, Pat? Sorry, mate, I'm only joking. How are you, Pat? It's about time you come back over here, so I ain't been out for a drink with you for ages. I miss seeing Pat. When Pat comes over to Spain, he gets himself a big jug of sangria and he sits there and he just gets absolutely pissed. Nothing wrong with it. His missus is pretty much the same, isn't she, Flo? She likes to get, they like a drink. And then Pat, the next day, just sits topless all day. I'm not saying Flo does that. Pat does that. Sits there topless with his hanky knotted, with his he has these cans of cider when he comes over here. I forget what they're called now. He'll tell us in a minute. But yeah, he's proper like Spanish Pat. They call him Spanish Pat when they see him. I can't resist it, can I? Come on. Um, not Pat, not long, mate. I don't know when you're coming, Pat. March, you're coming. You're coming for Paddy's Day. So yeah, like I was saying there, Billy Fabrizio Romano comes out with, you know, I would take it with a big pinch of salt, but like I would everything else at the moment, it's like what the players earn, what they pay for them. We don't really put anything out there, and I know a few people will claim that they got the Wagner one right. That was just little leaks right around the time they signed him, so you know. Emily Mouldy saying sounds like my kind of night. Yeah, it's like, honestly, you'll have to come over sometime because it is a bit of a crack here when there's a few of us here. Billy's been over, Pat's over. You know, it's good. You know, it is good, and it's a laugh. Summer's the time. It's a bit cold at the moment, but you know, a lot of the blues lads come over as well sometime. So that'll be nice. Um, Yeah, but I think with Pat Sangria, I think it's not quite the Spanish Sangria that you're supposed to have. Like the Spanish Sangria is like some spices, some red wine, some oranges. No, no. I think Pat forgot to mention that there's like half a bottle of vodka, half a bottle of rum, half a bottle of brandy. But he drinks it through a straw. Spanish Pat. We're going to get him a donkey when he comes over as well. Pat, 7 of us in the summer. Woohoo! Can't wait, son. That'll be good. It'll soon be summer as well when it's nearly February now. Once February's out the way, over here the weather starts to go shh. And I know in the UK it's not quite the same, but we're starting to see a little bit lighter nights now and stuff like that, as you will be there. It gets the worst here. It gets dark about 6, and I know over there it's a lot earlier. So I don't like them English winters. Um, but yeah, so we've got a couple of hard games coming up. We've got Swansea away. That's the next one. Winnable game. It is. Sheffield Wednesday away. Winnable game. These next 2 games are big games. If we can get, we can get 6 points out of those if we get the. I don't think it's so much getting the tactics right as getting the timings right. You know, let's keep it the way. If we get in control of those games, let's keep it that way without definitely making the moves on 65 minutes. I know sometimes we have to if the players are knackered because that pressing game is a really hard game to play. But you know what? If we can just get another 20 minutes out of the players, if we hadn't made those changes, I know Robinson had to go. Robinson had to go. But when you look at the others, we didn't really. I don't know. Like I'm sure I don't know. I can't say. I'm not sitting on the bench, but I'm sure Kyogo could have probably got past that a little bit. You know, we didn't have to disrupt it that much. Although at 3-0, you'd think that we could, and I can understand him for doing it. So I'm sort of disagreeing with myself. But I live on my own, so I often have a lot of arguments against me. Neighbours complain all the time. Who was you arguing with last night? Fuck it, I don't want to tell them it was me, myself. I've got a make-believe friend. Dave Pegg, can the project find some money for us all to come out, put it through is good for our mental health? It would. I don't think it would be good for your mental health, to be honest, Dave. I'm not sure. Birmingham ladies play Forest on Saturday. Where did that come from, Bill? It's nice seeing that, by the way. But you know, uh, Pat's coming out. Pat's saying end of May, just us two. So Pat and Flo are coming out at the end of May. Can't wait to see you both. Whilst we're on Sky Saturday also. Are we? What time's the kick off on Saturday then? Is it a lunchtime one? Yeah, I haven't even looked. We've had so much to do on the project lately, and we've got the CIC stuff going through. We've got all the stuff that we're doing for the lottery fund, the community fund. Uh, Obviously, like a lot of our stuff now is funded by the lottery, our podcasts and that. Bill's saying half 5. All right, so that's half 6 my time, innit? So that means I have to watch that. Oh, I don't know, in the pub, hopefully. Um, Paz, late kick-off, yeah. They're a pain in the arse, them late kick-offs, aren't they? And Swansea's, I mean, it ain't that far, but it's far enough, isn't it? Um, it's 3 hours, isn't it? And it's a nice place, Swansea, but yeah, it's 3 hours, I would think. It's probably longer for you, isn't it? Past 3.5 hours, mate. Although you can get on the M5, can't you? I think. I'm trying to remember now. 'Cause it's been so long since I've been in England. Um, because I don't want to see them wanted posters anywhere. I have to like have to put me disguise on. Um, Yeah. So a late kick-off, and then Tuesday, Sheffield Wednesday. I think that Tuesday we got Wednesday. I can't remember what time. That's going to be a normal time kick-off, of course. John Baker, I think it's good we're looking at signing young, pacey players for the future, but should look a few holders to balance the team. How about Callum Wilson on a pay-as-you-play basis? I mean, while there's injuries with Callum Wilson, plus I don't think he's the kind of player that we're going to sign. I don't know, John. And you're also saying, like, you know, it's good that we're looking at signing some young, pacey players. I mean, really, it's good that some people are making up that we're looking at some good young player. We don't know. Honestly, it's such a. I must sound like a real fucking killjoy, you know, because I know half the joy of these transfer windows is you know, who we're going to get, you know, looking at this one, looking at that one. Should we look at this and that? I know it is, but honestly, I've become a bit cynical about it. Past Price is saying we're going from St Anne's. Oh, nice one, mate. Okay, but you still got to travel home, haven't you? Because you'll be going with Tony, won't you? So it's a long day for you, really, isn't it, mate? So you go drive into Brum and then drive out of Brum again. You should arrange to meet them on one of the service stations, drop your car there and pick it up on the way back. Just a thought. That wouldn't really work though, would it? Because you'd have to just carry on going that way and then turn around and go, oh, I don't know. I don't know. English, the the British motorway system's a fucking nightmare as well, isn't it? That M5 and that. Oh. So I think we've probably talked about as much as we can. I just want to say again, like, you know, I'm sad about Hoppy, man. It's in my head. It's horrible, isn't it? It'll go. It'll go. You know, God bless him, and his family. How difficult for them all, and I hope they're all okay. It's just not good, is it? Um, yeah, but the Grinch, the Grinch, right? Yeah. John Baker, just going back to John's point then, about Callum Wilson. If you get a player on a play as you play, then but there's not many players I think that would go on a play as you play. Particularly someone who tends to be a bit injury prone, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. Um, we'll have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure we're going to be signing someone this week. There's stuff going on at the Blues, so just sit back and watch what's going on. I think also this time of the year it's a good job, it's a good opportunity for the gaffer if there's some people he's not happy with or whatever, because of course it's not just about how well they play, it's about players, you know, putting stuff into the dressing room and getting on with other players and having respect for people and all that stuff. So, you have to think about that as well. And when you got 26 adult men together, uh, they ain't all going to get on. They're not. Dave Pixane just kept saying, "Aye, aye, uppy, uppy, aye." Yeah, we're going to miss. We ain't going to be singing that. We're going to be singing that definitely in the next home game, aren't we? So yeah, uppy. Ah, Jesus, you had to mention it again, Dave. You put me on a downer again. I was just coming out of it. Guys, it's been really nice talking to you for the last hour, 1 hour, 1 minute and 7 seconds so far. Um, Thanks for letting me have your company again. These are so much better now, aren't they? These Facebook ones, I think we've got it cracked. We're not going to keep losing connection and stuff. We've had 4 or 5 now on the trot. We've had no issues, and it's no coincidence that it's with the new gorgeous laptop. Not that one sitting there. That one, it's still sitting there, and it looks guilty. You bastard. Kept letting me down all the time, and I was blaming Facebook as well. I didn't let me. Paz, have a good day, mate. Dave Pegg, all the best, mate. Paul James, Emily, Billy, oh God, um, everyone for coming on today. It's been absolutely great. I've really enjoyed it, and we'll be doing another one probably on Wednesday. Just so we can have a little look at the comings and goings of the transfer market. Any bits of rumour that we might hear, we can have a little chat about. But it's good fun, just having a bit of a chat anyway. It helps you pass a little bit of time of the day and that. And you can look at you can see you can see the sun outside. But I've got to tell you, actually, I'm just looking at it's 15 degrees, so it's not like really warm or nothing, but it's all right. Guys, thanks very much. Have a wonderful day. Um, yeah, all the best, Paul. Yeah, stay positive. Up the Blues. Little prayer for RPA. He's one of us. And guys, we'll see you soon. All right. Probably see you Wednesday. Stay positive. Stay positive. Look at that. Stay positive. See you guys. Thank you.